Hello and welcome to this yoga practice, Yoga for Back and Hips. Thank you so much for joining me for this yoga sequence today. We're going to get started sitting on the mat. Go ahead and cross the legs, rest your hands down in your lap and sit up nice and tall. We'll take an inhale through the nose to fill up the abdomen, fill up the rib cage and the chest. And then as you exhale, gently drop the shoulders down, soften the belly, and we'll reach the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, and we're going to press the palms forward, coming into kind of like a seated cat pose. And keeping that interwoven finger position, start to arch the back and send the palms up to the sky. Release the hands down. We're going to slide the right fingertips to the right, lowering the elbow, and then reach that opposite arm up and overhead, maybe even looking up past the bicep as you do, creating a nice side bend from your right hip all the way up to the right fingers. Let's come back up through center and switch sides, this time sliding the right hand to the right, lowering the right elbow. And we'll lift that left arm up and overhead with a big breath in through the nose. Spin the face up towards that bicep. And then as you release the left hand back down, we'll come to sit. Inhale both arms back up. And this time as you exhale, pull the thumbs to heart center, and we'll pause here for a moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe an intention to stay present, to move with the breath. And then beginning your seated cat-cow, grab a hold of the knee, start to inhale, arch the back, and exhale, round the spine. Keep that fluid motion through the vertebrae going every time you inhale, sending the tailbone back, chin up. And every time you exhale, curling the tailbone under and rounding your spine. Beautiful. And then we're going to start to move in a circular motion, still creating that wave-like expression through the vertebrae, but now bringing a barrel roll action to the chest, almost like you're trying to jump rope the spine. Hitting that cow pose as you go back and moving through that cat pose as you come forward. Continue to do that motion, but switch directions. Let the neck get involved if that feels good for the cervical spine. And then we'll start to slow it down and come back upright to your seated position. Big inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. And then we'll take a twist to the right. Left hand to the outside of the right thigh as you spin the chest in that direction. You might even look past your back shoulder. Keep a nice long spine. Continue to breathe deep through the nose. And then we'll inhale back to center and exhale to switch. As you plant that back hand behind you, you can use it as a little bit of support to lengthen up through the spine a little bit more, sending the crown of the head towards the sky. Start to look past your back shoulder. And then inhale, sweep both arms back up, and then we'll land the palms at the top of the mat and move into a downward facing dog. Holding still in this first down dog, drive your heels towards the earth. Hang the head heavy. Now look between your thumbs and then look back between your knees. Start to roll the spine forward until you come all the way into a high plank position, and then we're going to pike the hips right back up to downward facing dog. We'll keep that movement going so that as you inhale, you roll forward to your high plank. And as you exhale, you pike the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Big inhale, roll forward. Slow exhale, press back. Big inhale, roll forward, high plank. And then exhale, pike the hips deep, downward facing dog. This time we'll hold down dog, but walk the feet a little closer so you're in a shortened stance. And we're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left calf, ankle, or heel, whatever you can grab comfortably. Look underneath your left armpit, creating a curve, creating a rotation through the spine. And if it feels good to keep moving the neck, you can shake the head slowly no. And release that right hand back down to the ground to trade sides. This time left hand reaches to the outside of the right calf, the ankle, the heel. And if it felt good to move your neck on the other side, go ahead and find some kind of neck expression here as well. Maybe a yes shake or a no shake. Go ahead and lower that left hand down to the floor. And now we're going to put a big bend in the knees, look forward, and either step or pounce to forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lifted position, flatten the back, and then as you exhale, go deeper into your forward fold. We'll inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up, place the palms together, and then pull the thumbs down to heart center. Another big inhale. Good, and then reach the arms back up like a snow angel. As you exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Now step your right foot back as you exhale, lower that knee down. You can untuck the toes and we'll lift up into a low crescent lunge. Back knee on the floor. Back shin pressing down towards the ground, even if it's not touching. Try to get a little bit longer from your hips all the way up through armpits, elbows, and wrists. And then we'll turn to that left side, creating a big open wingspan. Now you can stay there, or if you'd like to tip it back into an exalted warrior, go ahead and place the left hand on the left knee or the thigh. Reach that right hand high. Sink both hips a little bit further forward. And then we'll reach both hands back up to come down into a half split. Eventually the finger pads landing to frame that front heel. Now bend the front knee and we'll step back to a plank pose for chaturanga. Your version, on an inhale, take a cobra or an up dog. And as you exhale, pike the hips for downward facing dog. Big inhale. Lift that right leg up, press down through the left heel, and now we'll step forward for that same dance on the other side. Left knee comes down, and we lift up into our low crescent lunge. Sink both hips towards the top two edges of your mat. Keep pressing the top of the left foot down. And now splitting the wingspan, we'll start to turn the chest to the right. You can stay in that position or reach to grab the back of that left thigh, maybe all the way down to the knee. Reach the left hand up high. And now we'll spin back to center. And that will be our entrance for half split. Bring the hands down to frame the right foot. Straighten out the right leg as you bow forward. And then we'll rebend that right knee and step it all the way forward to forward fold. On your next inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, pull the thumbs to heart center. Other side, big inhale, sweep up, look up, and exhale to fold. Now step the left foot back, knee down, and right away we'll rise up to that low lunge. We're gonna split the wingspan and twist to the right. Maybe you take that exalted variation, big inhale, and then cartwheel the hands to half split on your exhale. We'll rebend the right knee and step it into a plank pose for chaturanga, bending the elbows, and then inhale, straighten the elbows as you lift the chest, up dog. Downward facing dog as you exhale, deep pike in the hips, and then inhale with the left leg. Bend the knee to step the foot between the palms, and we'll lower that right knee down for low crescent lunge. Right away, split the arms, coming into that twist. You can keep it or take your exalted warrior inhale. Cartwheel to your half split as you exhale. Rebend the left knee and we'll step it into a forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, thumbs to heart center. Couple rounds of regular half sun, big inhale, full sun, reach the arms up, forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift as you inhale, we are going to spring to chaturanga on the exhale. You can also step back here. Inhale to your choice of a back bend, cobra or up dog. And then move to downward facing dog with your exhale for a big breath in through the nose. And a complete breath out through the nose. The next time you inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and then spring to the top of the mat, fold. Halfway lift on your inhale, forward fold on your exhale, and we will rise to stand. Big breath in, reach up, look up. Thumbs to heart center as you exhale, and again, big inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, forward bend. We're going to halfway lift on the inhale. If you stepped back last time, use the opposite foot back this time and lower down for that chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog, and we'll take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Beautiful. Bend the knees, look forward, and then spring forward to fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Now inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, pull the thumbs to heart center. Another round. Big inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. And if you haven't tried it this time yet, try it this time. Hop to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. And let's hold it. A big inhale through the nose. Steady exhale through the nose. Bend the knees and then pounce to forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, and then on an inhale, reach all the way up, look up. Exhale, thumbs to heart. Now separate your feet as wide as your mat. You can heel toe them out and turn the toes out. On your inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and knees, coming down to a Malasana squat. Press the triceps into the inner thighs and squeeze the knees back into the arms. Drop the tailbone down, and if it feels good to find some gentle movement with the neck here, go ahead and look side to side or roll the neck around. Keep lengthening through the sacrum, the low spine, and up through the upper back and the neck. Try to keep some weight in the heels as well as balls of feet and toes. If the weight is mostly on the outer arch, see if you can share it with the inner arch of the foot. Good. Now we'll inhale to stand up, straighten arms and legs, heel toe the feet back in. Take another inhale, maybe a slight back bend here standing, and then forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Jump to chaturanga, breathe out. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time as you inhale, we'll lead with the left leg, reach it up high, left foot rises, bend the knee and stack the hips open. Go ahead and let the left shoulder lift higher if it wants to, but try to keep equal weight in the palms. Good, reach those toes back like they're gonna touch your shoulder blade. And then with lots of control, we're gonna straighten out that top leg. Slowly square the hips to the mat. Bend the knee and tap the right elbow, so opposite knee elbow connect. Inhale, send it up and back. We have 3 total. As you exhale, tap right elbow, maybe a little higher to the tricep this time. Inhale, send it up and back. Then as you exhale, how high can you get it? Maybe into the armpit. Send it up and back, big inhale. And then step the foot between the palms. Crescent lunge is where we will rise. Long, steady inhale takes you up. Stack that left knee over the left heel. Very similar to the sequence that we did earlier with the knee down. We're going to take that here. Finding a steady footing, we'll split the arms to a T and start to turn your chest towards that left side of the room without changing the position of the hips. If you liked the exalted warrior position, you can take it here as well, sliding left hand down the right thigh. Reach the right arm up and overhead. We'll take a transition to Warrior 2 by dropping the right heel and cartwheeling the arms open to a T. Once you get into that Warrior 2, look over the front fingers, find a steady gaze forward. Strong in the legs, long in the spine, relaxed in the shoulders. We'll move into a side angle with the left elbow on the left thigh, right bicep up by the ear. Get a very long diagonal line from your right fingers to your right ankle. And now go ahead and start to reach that right arm behind the back. We're going to move into a bind, a half bind, by hooking the right fingers inside of the left hip crease. Gently press the right hand down into your left femur. See if you can use that as a little bit of leverage to spin the chest open. Keep a strong lunge in the left leg and a very sharp line through the right leg. Release the bind, bicep by the ear. From there, we're going to rise back up to warrior two, strong core muscles, and we'll straighten the left leg, quarter turn the left foot, and hop the heels in. Go ahead and turn the palms up and bend elbows, knees, and wrists for your goddess pose. In that goddess squat, try to sit the hips as low as you can while keeping the knees stacked over the heels. If you need to adjust the feet to make that happen, go ahead and do so. Try to keep a 90-degree bend in the wrists, elbows, armpits, hips, knees, and ankles. Good, strong back muscles. We'll release the hands to the hips, press the feet down to stand, and then widen the feet just a touch here, prepping for your Skandasana. We're going to bring the hips over to the right heel. Maybe hands can go to heart center here. If it's better for you to place the hands on the mat, you can do hands on the ground. We are going to floss a few times side to side. So now taking the hips over to the left heel, flex the right toes, and let's keep that going. So that you're going to walk the hands through center, bring the hips to the right heel, walk the hands through center, bring the hips to the left heel, and continue at your own pace. Maybe you sync up the breath here by inhaling through center, exhaling to stick the pose. Now let's pivot around to face that front foot and step back into a three-legged dog. Once again, left foot rises. Now bend and stack the hips, or if you're feeling up for it, you'll flip into your wild thing by stepping that left foot down behind the right calf. Turn the belly and chest open to the sky, reach that left hand back, big inhale, long exhale. Maybe toss the head back here. And then we'll go back into a downward facing dog, rolling through, shift into high plank for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Other side, we're going to inhale to lift the right leg and bend the knee. Go ahead and stack the hips open, letting that right hip lift up high. And if the right shoulder wants to move with it, go ahead and let the right shoulder move up just a little bit. Press down equally through both hands. Keep driving that left heel to the floor. And with lots of control, we'll straighten out the front leg, the top leg. With lots of control, we'll straighten out the top leg and turn to tap right knee, left elbow. We have 3 total, so as you inhale, stretch the right leg up and back. And as you exhale, tap knee to left elbow. Inhale, stretch it up and back. And as you exhale, tap knee to left elbow. Inhale, stretch it up and back. And this time we're going to bend the knee and step through for your high crescent lunge. Go ahead and stick that right foot. And then with lots of control in the core, rise up, biceps frame your ears. Deep lunge in the front knee. Big lift of that left heel. Making the twist will split the wingspan, and you can keep that open arm position or reach the right hand down to the back of that left leg. Left arm reaches high as you continue to lunge deep into the front knee and squeeze the left quad to straighten out that left leg, back leg. And here's our big transition into Warrior Two. Start to swing the left heel down and cartwheel the arms open to a T. You can look over your front fingers. Keep a nice release of the shoulders down away from the ears. Think of dropping a tailbone anchor. So you have lots of weight down with the tailbone, but you resist that by rising up through your vertebrae column. And then keeping the spine and the ribs long, go ahead and set your right elbow on the right thigh, left bicep by the ear for your traditional side angle. And after you find that long line through both sides of the ribs, go ahead and wrap your left arm behind the back, hook the fingers inside of the hip crease. Press the left fingers down, left palm down onto the thigh bone, and spin the chest open. Think of elegant collarbones here. Firm foot connection, especially the pinky toe edge side of that back foot. Good. Release the half bind, and we rise, warrior two. Once again, straighten the front leg, quarter turn the foot, but this time you're going to pigeon toe the feet. Bring the hands to the hips and lift the chest. Inhale, draw the elbows together as you fold with a flat back. When you get low enough that you need to round the spine, let its natural round shape take place. Now, option here to stay in your forward fold, wide-legged variation, or if you have your headstand in your practice, you're going to place the crown of the head on the ground, straddle the feet up and together, and take a few rounds of breath steady in that headstand position. Try out sharing weight between both palms and the crown. Squeeze the legs together, point the toes, and drive up through the tips of the toes. If you have that headstand, try straddling down, landing the feet light. We will all meet in a halfway lifted position, hands under shoulders. Use that as a transition for your Skandasana, shifting the hips back to that back heel, and then shifting the hips forward to that front heel. Continue to move side to side a few rounds, adding in the breath. Inhale through center, and as you exhale, switch. And as you inhale, you'll move through center, and as you exhale, you'll switch. The next time you come to the front, pivot around to face the front and send that right leg up and back. Once again, you can bend and stack the hips, bend the knees, stack the hips. Or if you're flipping into that wild thing, place the foot down behind the calf, turn the belly and chest open to the ceiling, drive the hips up as you reach that right hand back, like you're gonna touch the ground behind you. Another deep inhale. And then we swing the arm around to come into our downward facing dog. From down dog, shift forward high plank, chaturanga. Inhale up dog, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. And this time we're gonna lower the knees down to the ground and sit back on the heels for a wide-legged, extended child's pose. Forehead heavy on the earth, hips heavy on the heels, palms heavy to the support of your mat. Good, and then roll up, kind of like a tabletop, but with wide knees, big toes together, and start to circle out the hips and shoulders here, taking the hips back to the left heel, over to the right heel, and then shoulders up over the right palm to the left palm. Keep it going, circling the hips and shoulders back, around, forward and around. And go ahead and reverse the circles. Hips go back to the right heel, left heel, shoulders come over the left hand, right palm. Keep it going. Good. And then from there, bring the knees in a little bit closer, about hip distance apart. Come to kneel on the shins. We're going to place the hands down first on the low abdomen. Feel that area where the hip flexors are. Think of engaging there, keeping a connection of the core. Try to keep a flat front of pelvis. Place the hands on the back of the pelvis, low back. Keeping the hips moving forward or stacking over the knees, start to lean the chest up and back. And if you have the mobility here to reach back to grab the heels, go ahead and reach back with your hands, grab a hold of the heels and push the chest up. Press balls of the feet down, hips forward to stack over the knees. Squeeze the shoulder blades together to pop the chest up. And if the chin feels good to lift, you can lift the chin. Now to come out, hands come to the low back, and we're just gonna sit back on the heels and take a child's pose, forehead to the earth. And then if you wanna go a step further, you're gonna place the crown of the head on the ground, grab a hold of the outsides of your heels, and as you push the head down, lift the hips up high for rabbit pose. Good, release that rabbit. Take the hands back down by the knees. And then sitting up tall, we'll rise back up, coming into that kneeling position for another round of your camel. Hands come to the low back, hips stay stacked over the knees as you lift the chest up and back. This time you might try out keeping the tops of the feet down as you reach back to grab your heels. Continue to put a firm connection of resistance against hands and feet to help you lift the chest high. So feet can push into hands, hands into feet. Tops of feet continue to push into the earth. Chest pushes up towards the sky. And this time we're going to come all the way back to a seat like a hero's pose. Place the hands on the lap. Take a deep inhale. Sit up tall, draw the tailbone down, lengthen the low spine. Good, and then release the feet out from underneath you. Send the feet straight forward, prepping for a forward fold. We'll flex the toes back towards the shins. You might move the flesh out from underneath the butt here, and then inhale, arms up. As you exhale, go ahead and reach forward and grab the balls of the feet. On an inhale, lift out of it just slightly, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, go deeper into that forward fold. Maybe you reach around the feet and clasp one hand around opposite wrist. Try to get the nose down towards the shins or the knees. Maybe forehead comes to land on the shin bones. Now releasing the feet, sit up tall, and we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. Keep the right leg extended. You can bring that left heel right in towards the center, and then reach the right arm down the shin towards the ankle, left arm up and overhead, creating a side bend all the way from your left sits bone to your left set of fingers. And we'll drop that hand down towards the foot, now turning the chest over that front knee or that extended knee. Drop the forehead towards the leg. Continue to breathe nice and steady here. And then rise back up. And we'll trade sides by bringing that left leg out long and that right heel in towards the center. Slide the left hand down the left leg and reach that right arm up and overhead. Take a deep side stretch. Try to keep anchored down through the right hip bone, right sits bone, so it's like a stable base. It is a stable base for your side bend to take place. Now look at that foot that it's extended. Reach towards it with both hands. Drop the forehead down towards the shin. Good, long, steady breaths. And then go ahead and release up and out of that stretch. We'll bring both heels, both soles of feet together and enter our cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together. Inhale to lift the chest up high, and as you exhale, hinge forward and bow over the feet, maybe placing the forehead down in the cup of the feet. If it feels good to keep holding the ankles, you can do that. If it feels better to reach the arms straight out in front of you, go ahead and find a little bit more extension forward, dropping the forehead down. Releasing the back, the hips, the neck. We'll walk the hands back if they're extended, rising back up. And now using the hands to close the knees together, we're going to wrap the arms around the shins, sit up tall on an inhale, and then drop the eyes towards the knees as you exhale, closing the eyelids here, letting a little gentle pressure take place on the eyes. And then we'll turn on the mat to lie down, coming to the center of your mat, roll down, reach the arms overhead, and then pick up the knees and scoop the outsides of the feet up, coming into your happy baby. You're going to draw the hands down against the feet, trying to bring the knees closer to the side ribs or the armpits. Low back flat to the ground. You can even massage out the low back here by rocking left and right. You might try out straightening one leg, getting a hamstring stretch. And then bending that knee and straightening out the other leg. Bring both soles of feet together, ending with either a traditional Shavasana or supine cobbler's pose. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the surrender of hip opening, you'll take that supine cobbler's pose. And if it's better for you to extend the legs, you'll do that now, letting the knees rest heavy, feet rest heavy. Let go of any focus on the breath, any control of the breath. Let it simply come and go, very native to your own body. Let go of any tension in the face, the hands, the feet. Let go of any tension in the jaw, the throat, the neck, the chest, the belly, and the pelvis. Let the sacrum and tailbone rest heavy on the ground. If you have the supine cobbler's pose, go ahead and bring the knees together. We're all going to roll into a fetal position on either side, coming to rest there for just a moment. And then use your top hand to press down against the earth and rise up into a seated position. When you get to your seat, sit tall. Bring the palms up overhead, big inhale. Exhale, thumbs to third eye, clear vision. To the mouth, clear speech. And to the heart, clear actions of love. We'll dip the head down towards the hands and release the hands to the lap. Excellent work with today's practice. I enjoyed leading you through this yoga sequence. Make sure if you're new to the channel, you subscribe for weekly videos. And if you liked this practice, share it with a friend and give it a thumbs up so you can keep returning to this video. It was an honor to guide you, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Namaste.